Like there always has to be like, okay.
Sometimes the universe is a little too difficult on us. You feel you won't make it, and that there is no hope left at all. But one must keep rolling, because life becomes a little easier when you have someone to share the load with. And when you least expect it, the rains will go away, and it will all be sunny. Like a story of the summer? Welcome to Alive and Kicking with Rahul Bamne. New episodes every Friday. Great. Uh, Welcome, Nikita, to Alive and Kicking. It's a podcast where we share opinions, perspectives, stories, and we feel it's no better time to do this than 2020 when we are sitting in our homes locked. I hope the lockdown has been kind on you.
Has it been kind on anyone? It's okay.
That's the question.
Surviving.
Surviving?
Yeah.
Alive and kicking.
Alive
Somehow.
and
Alive
kicking, yeah.
kicking. But thank you so much for really taking out this hour. It really means a lot to all of us who are on the team, and to me especially, that you're doing this. Alive and Kicking is a space where people who have somehow impacted my life or have had great conversations with come, and you make it to that list of 9 people, and I'm so tissues and I'm so glad that you do, it. I think I don't think so. I do have a lot of other people who are as passionate as you, but I think there's a different fun in just discussing these things with you.
How dare
And
you.
before I begin, I'm going to say this episode is called Youth Among the Young, which I think what you are and a lot of others I know are, they are, although we do belong to a generation or we do belong to a phase in life where we call ourselves young, but we are not youthful enough to really take it to our heart, and do things that we feel really passionate about. So you do that, and which is why you make it to this podcast. And there are some issues, like you mentioned before, that you don't have to be passionate about every cause. You can be passionate about one cause or two causes, and that is still fine, right? So I think taking that ahead, we are going to be discussing a lot in this episode. Before I start with the conversation, I have to tell the audience that I know Nikita since 2015. Nikita is a psych graduate. We did arts together in junior college, and then she went on to do psych, and then I went on to do BMM. She's a great orator. I have known her for 4 years, and I've had the pleasure of growing alongside her, and she's had the pleasure to see me make so many mistakes, terrible mistakes, and see me correct myself and grow as a person.
So we're gonna talk about your mistakes.
No,
Are you
no,
paying
no.
me for listening to you?
but yeah, I mean, for the very
Yeah.
fact that you've seen me grow as a person for last 5 years, I also have to say that you are extremely sensitive. You are very aware about yourself, about everything that's happening around, and moreover, you are forgiving. You've constantly, and we'll get to that about, when we talk about corrections and everything. But these are really three great qualities about you. I have to say, Nikita has worked with Sesame Workshop India, which is a non-profit organization where she was doing qualitative research on nutrition, and she went on. She actually went down to Dharavi. She spoke to people there. They took out time for your organization and spoke to you about nutrition and the needs that they have. You have also worked in Manav, which is an organization situated in Grant Road, about mental illness, and this is not for children, this is for adults, right?
Yeah.
You are
Like rehab. It's like a rehab facility. It's not like rehab after the illness. So they basically are not like very very into the illness. Like they have recovered.
They have recovered.
So just like helping. Yeah. So it's yeah.
So you exactly, you've been there. You have also worked in keto. In 2019 2020 you did that, I think between November, December, Jan, around that period. And then you
Yeah.
are currently with Azadi
Yeah.
International right now, 2020. That's a lot of lot of NGOs. I haven't worked I think have worked with only one, and you have managed to do so much. Uh, and some of them probably have been paid, some of them have been unpaid, and you've went ahead and did your bit, right? So she's done all of that, and she's a psych graduate, and she's planning for a future in psych, that she spoke to me about very in depth. So that's Nikita Nair.
You look
She's
so
working.
tired. You're just like, that's Nikita Nair.
Yeah, I was just like, is this getting over? How much
Yeah,
is she
just get it
done?
over with. What?
I already feel tired, but and she's alive and she's kicking. And in India, we really take it for granted. And like you even mentioned, trans life, for the very fact that LGBT is LGBTQIA, for that matter of fact, they're not just marginalized from the society. Transgenders get marginalized in their own community as well. And to make it more evident that, like you mentioned, Hijra, which is one of the communities of the
Yeah,
transgenders, and India has a lot of communities. I think I remember discussing with you this one festival that happens
yeah,
in Tamil Nadu,
yeah,
Kothis and Hijras, and I'm not so much aware
yeah,
about those communities as much as they themselves would be. Uh, but there is so much that is undiscovered. There is so, and just because
yeah,
we don't know about it doesn't mean that it is not real, it is
yeah,
not true, it is not, it doesn't have its life of its own, right? Because like you mentioned, if it was a straight man, if it was a straight woman,
yeah,
and they were murdered or they were killed, and their cases would be taken to such a great importance, right? But if it's a trans life, that's treated as close to like a drop of water, which
absolutely,
is
yeah,
what that's about. I mean, that it really does make a huge difference, and I'm so glad that we were able to be people who could meet someone in real, talk to them. And like you mentioned, we can't keep passing on numbers like this. I mean, you really took the effort of reaching out to Srimati, and probably if there's another person who really needs to get in touch with one, they should make the effort. uh, and I've become so sensitive nowadays, after a long time. It's because every time I see a transgender at the signal, or if I come across one in the train, my attitude and my behavior has changed a lot. I Earlier, when one would come across in the train, one transgender would come across in the train, I can sense the entire train just going back, just taking a back. And then I remember today, after, I mean, years of
yeah,
just learning about
yeah,
them, reading up a lot,
yeah.
it just feels very normal. Like I'm standing at the train like this, and it's just a transgender enters, and I'm completely fine.
Yeah, and I feel so safe around them. Like, I would not feel safe around if I go to the gents compartment. I never feel
You're
safe. I
conscious,
always have
yeah.
to look around and, be so like aware of my where my hand is, where my body is it touching anybody? Yes, so usually I always find myself like, being closer to, like, if it's like an alien place, I'm all like, I would, if I'm waiting for someone at the station, if they're like, transgender people sitting over there, I would just like go around and sit with them because I feel so much more safer around them than men. And there was this one time, I was like getting into the train. It was like morning lecture. I was getting late as always, and I got into the train, and I had to get this train. So I got into it, and if like I was a sort of outside, but I was like really scared. I'm not the kind of person to like hang outside or anything. I don't. I was just getting really scared, and there was uh this woman, and she basically like a transgender woman. So she was just like she got up. There was a lot of crowd, but she was sitting down. So she got up and she kept her hand like like this. So, and I was like, and I felt so nice, and like I was just like, oh my god, I'm like protected, and that's like that's all I want. Like, and I felt like oftentimes it's always happened, like when if they are, I just smile, and even if I don't have like money to give or I don't want to give, I just smile, and that's okay with them. No, like instead of just like looking down or just like making faces, it's fine to just smile. But of course, like everybody, the people might experience different experiences.
Yeah, and I do realize that us giving them a rupee or no does not define
Yeah.
our be our even a
Yeah.
small smile goes a long way. It makes a huge difference. Even if you don't have
Yeah.
a 5 rupee coin or a 10 rupee note, that's completely fine, as long as
Yeah.
I've seen so many men smirk when transgenders pass by, you know, and make fun of them or whatever, laugh on them, and that's just demeaning. I mean, how would I feel or you feel if that happens to us, right? We're going to be talking about women's issues, and it's important to give a trigger warning, right? So this is a
I
trigger
did.
warning to
Yeah.
everyone who's going to
Yeah.
continue watching this episode, and because we will use words like sexual assault, rape, those kinds of words are going to be in order, and which is why this is a trigger warning for that. But what is your entire point or opinion on correction and correcting and growing? What do you think about that, Nikita?
Um. So yeah, like you mentioned, we were talking few days back about like correcting. I don't want to correct people on like petty things as grammar and like if they're not using correct vocabulary. I think since the longest time I wanted to like I never thought like I can do academics. Like I'm doing psychology, which has a lot of research, a lot of academic stuff, like heavy academic stuff. And I never thought I could do it because I was like, oh my god, my English sucks. Like I can't really do like proper, like, lot of like English and vocabulary and all of that nonsense, which again is a whole thing. So, what I feel like, researchers should be accessible to people. And the way things are written is, like the way academic things are written in like such jargons and like BS, it's like really like it just, so when you read an article, the whole point should be that we should understand. So the idea of correction, yeah. So I think we live in a world where we no longer can say that I don't know what this issue is about. Okay, so I feel like that's just an excuse. You're just making an excuse to live in your own bubble of privilege, and it needs to be bursted now because there's a lot of things that are going on in the world which needs our voice and support in multiple ways. You don't have to always go and stand in police station or protest all the time. There are a lot of ways where you can help, be it financially, physically, or emotionally, being available for someone to listen to their worries or problems or issues or just their life. We can always help in any other form. It doesn't have to be monetary always. So there are a lot of people who say things like, oh, I never get to like see these issues because you're very aware social justice wise. I am aware because I'm following these pages on Instagram or like Twitter or anywhere. It's mostly because I am putting an effort into following local voices, people from the communities itself. Like, so instead of I would suggest, instead of following Times of India or like big brands, which I mean, it's good to follow them, but also as well as making note of where is the speaker, if they have an Instagram account, so you follow them. So there's a lot of Instagram accounts that I follow. So I am, I'm very, very privileged. So I
And
don't.
you know what we're going to do. We're probably
Yeah.
let's make a list later.
I do have
where
a
you can
yeah.
tell-
Yeah.
let's release out a list later
Oh.
about the kind of content and for what content, who should follow for what content, right?
Okay.
So if it's LGBT, then we'll name out a few. If it's women issues, we'll name out a few and all of that. And I get your point that I come across a lot of people who keep telling me that, hey, मेरे को तो ये cause दिखता नहीं है.
Yeah.
But my point is, the cause is not going to come to you.
Yeah.
You have to go to the cause.
Yeah.
You have to really go looking out for it because it's there.
It's just one Google click away.
it's
All
like-
you have to do is
yeah,
like,
it's like-
search. अगर तुम किम कार्दाशियन के बच्चों के बारे में जान सकते हो तो why not like
And उनको देखा भी नहीं है. And उनको देखा भी नहीं है, right? It's like saying the same thing कि अमेरिका देखा नहीं लेकिन तुम्हें पता है ना अमेरिका है.
Exactly, like it's just all about like how if do you want to put that effort. Just like when people say things like, oh yeah, I've not researched more about this, it's just like this I don't know, like मैं इसके बारे में ज़्यादा जानती नहीं हूँ. This is something that everybody tells me. मुझे ना इसके बारे में कुछ opinion नहीं है वैसे. What, like there's so many accounts that's constantly been talking about these issues. All you have to do is just follow them. All you have to do is just like keep an up, like like I am constantly putting out issues and you're telling me that you don't know these things, and so basically you're not really bothered about what's happening. That's the
And you're not
whole
even
thing.
ready to expose yourself. You're
Yeah,
not ready to expose
and-
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I used to think like it's all about empathy. I think it all comes down to, like, what, like, do you have an empathy? It's not more about sympathy but about empathy, as in, do you care for this person? Or, oh, okay, you care for this person, you care about this community, so what can you do to help them? Okay, you can share a post, amplify, spread awareness. You can help them by paying somebody's fees or just like some monetary compensation. So there's a lot of ways you can help. So I think it's really important for us to accept our privilege, that if we have internet, we are already very privileged. If we know how to speak English in India, it's a very privileged setup. Like 60% or more than
Speak.
50% of a population doesn't even they don't speak English. Yeah, they don't speak English. Don't A very small percentage of people are on the internet. So people who are on Instagram, Twitter, and all these accounts, that's a very small number of Indians who are actually on these sites. So we are very much privileged, and we need to understand that, it's not just about being in our own bubble. It's also about knowing these issues, and you don't have to be passionate about every single issue that pops up. Like, like in the start you said, so you can choose issues that you like. Please don't, don't, I see a lot of people who are like, I'm really passionate about animal rights, like adoption. Yeah, dogs shouldn't,
Zone,
it's
safe
great.
zone. It's a very
But I
safe
think it's a
zone.
very safe, people always want to, yeah, it's always like diplomatic and safe zones, because सब चीज़ों का दो sides होता है. Nobody really
Unconventional
wants to
conversation.
have
Yeah.
uncomfortable and, like, have an opinion that is very, God, yeah, nobody wants to have that conversations, because what will people think of me? What if I lose friends? And
So
all,
you see
like,
a lot
there
of
are
so you
these
see a lot of
lot
people
of
who
things that
choose their
goes
causes
on, and
because they think they have nothing to lose there, right? They're pretty safe.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like, even with like women empowerment, people continue to talk about issues like sexual harassment, which already has laws, which already is, like, it's good to talk about sexual harassment, but I think it's very safe. Like, every time there's a school project or any kind of project, people have like these really कौन से तो ज़माने के era के women issues, like like, like sati and all these things. Like, people continue to talk about the same narratives without talking about what's actually happening in this world. So,
You're
like,
saying
if it's like
so
about
if you're saying if it's there, if it's
women from other
existing, talk about it. If it's a bygone, there's no point.
Yeah.
We understand that
Yeah.
it was a big issue. We understand that it was a cause.
Exact-
We respect
yeah.
it, right? But are you ready to support something that's happening right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. And
Yeah, and which is political as well. Like, people think that political is all about political parties, but it's not. It's never about political parties. It's all about the choices, your identity, other people's identity, their choices. It's all about that.
when,
It's
when,
never
when
about
someone
parties.
does ask you
So,
what's your political
um,
stand, they're not asking you are you a right wing, are you a left wing. They're also asking you what causes you support, right? What causes you stand. So as a term, it really odd thing.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's not just asking you what your government thinks, or what you think the opposition is doing. It's not only about political parties like you mentioned.
yeah, I mean,
That's
of
one
course,
part
like,
of it,
but
yeah.
like people
That's one
follow
part
in
of it, but
right wing
at the
and
same-
left wing
yeah.
because
So it's
it
a whole
just
lot
is.
of other
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that
Yeah,
are in
yeah.
public, issues that are happening in public.
I
and we are
understand.
Not yet addressing it, right?
Like, there always has to be, like, okay.
Yes, he will be on the podcast as well.
He
I
never
think
gives
we're
me
gonna
bow,
we're just
and
gonna
now he
name it
wants
Youth
to.
Among the Young, feat Nikita Nair and Hugo.
Okay.
Which brings me to another section, Nikita, where we really talk about caste. Now, on whole soul, and before we begin, I have to remind, or I have to tell
Yeah.
people again, for any trigger warning or any issue that's been discussed here, to tell you
Okay.
that I belong to a backward class, and I can talk about it because I have known my ancestors who went through
Yeah.
it, and they've had their share of struggle, and I've
Yeah.
only been hearing stories of them, and
Yeah.
somehow somewhere in and around do realize, and I do see casteism still happening, and it's a big, it as small as people think it is. It's not. a reservation has been the greatest debate of law of all time. Uh, a lot of youngsters have just unreasonable anger and frustration against these people who apparently take their seats, you know, because
Yeah, what people don't understand is this is like an affirmative action for, like for and the thing is, like people think that every organization where there's a reservation, but it's only in public universities. It's not in private universities. Reservations don't happen in private universities.
people don't realize that it's in public universities and not in private.
It's on, yeah. So I remember reading about, like, so there was this article that I was reading, and it's talk about like how many. So there's like not a lot of, a very small number of public universities have reservations, and and these are affirmative actions so that people can, like, people from lower castes and Dalits who have been oppressed for centuries and years can can even um, think of like getting an education, getting a degree, so that it further benefits them. It further benefits their family and their like the next generation. So
Yeah.
for a lot of people, this is, we've had this is the first time somebody in their family is, writing 10th standard exam or 12th standard exam, first time completing their education, and which is such a big thing. And like, a lot of people think that itna kuch nahi hai. It is something that's, which was abolished pehle, and we don't have discrimination. We see so many, if there's lynching, there's people from, usually from Dalit, um, or from lower caste, which are usually victims of lynching. Even in recently there were, like, student, even in student deaths, I think in 2018, um, around there was some number. It was like 27, may say 23 people were Dalit
24th, yeah.
people who died by suicide. So these are like really huge numbers. So like 27 may say agar 23. So of course casteism still
structure.
exists. So what people need to understand is, like, racism, casteism is a system. It is not just people. It is a whole system. I mean, like, we've heard so many stories about how lower caste women were not even allowed, like in the south, Travancore,
Yeah.
in Chertala.
I'll tell you a lot of these people who have been killed.
Yeah.
Have been just killed by people, beaten up,
Yeah.
and killed because they belong to a certain
Low.
caste. About the entire atrocity of how their shadows were not
Yeah.
allowed. They
Not
were
allowed in
asked to
temp-
sit
yeah.
separately. Yeah, they were asked to sit separately, use different utensils, all of that. Just talking about how we've really heard about a lot about people who are from the lower caste, people who belong to these things. And like I mentioned about this undue anger, this hate against students who belong to that caste, hate against, for the very fact the great Ambedkar, brought this entire thing into force so that we could live a life as equal, if not equal, at least close enough to those from the upper caste and who are well-to-do, who are elite, as said. And even though he did try to put his effort about 50 years back, uh, I have to say that this issue still exists, and for a real reason, a lot of us who belong to this background, this caste, are really thankful to someone like him, and not just him, a lot of other people who went on to really write about caste, write about the issues that these people face, as we do face, or I mean, for the sheer fact that
Yeah.
I was constantly called out for because I paid less fees as compared to other students, because I belong to an SC caste, or I pay,
Yeah.
I have a seat. So even that, I think even that is casteism. With the fact
Yeah.
that you're calling me out, how can you call me out, right?
I mean, people won't talk about, like, contact or like management positions. If tum paise de ke padhoge, that is okay.
Yeah.
Just because you have contacts, that's fine. But if you have like a reservation, then that's not. I mean, like, people will go on to like ask their fathers to, like, or like their uncle and auntie to give them an internship or a job. That's fine. But reservation is somehow really the most worst thing ever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's,
And it was
you
such
know-
a big thing, right? I remember so many of our counter, people just arguing about it all the time, that they're like, how can you and this is, can you imagine, this is 2 seats, in a
Yeah,
college,
yeah.
in a class, where you as general have, like, I don't know, whatever, 15, 20, 25 seats, then you get these two, forget us, the situation in the northeast. I mean, we can't even go there. That's another whole ball game, where people from the northeast suffer a lot, and they're deep
Yeah, they suffer like racism. Yeah.
racism on a huge
Yeah.
level, and they travel all the way.
Like even with corona, like with all these coronavirus, like people are spitting on them. They're like all these cases of like abuse, like growing and rising because of just because people don't know geography and think that
even
yeah,
how easily they just say, "Tum Chinese hai na, tum Japanese hai na."
yeah,
No, what if I was from Tibet? What if I was from Meghalaya? What if I was from Assam? I could be from all of these parts. Bengal for that matter, for anything, right?
Yeah.
But it's so easy to.
I don't think isn't Tibet not part of
It's
India?
not part of
It's
it,
in,
but
like, isn't
people
it?
from there
Yeah,
look
yeah, yeah.
similar.
Yeah, I was like,
they have
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
fine. But that's the whole idea, right? This entire section of land where people look similar, and they
Yeah.
get stereotyped, or they just get called out for one general nationality, that tum China se hai, ya tum Japan se hai.
Yeah.
That entire thing happens
Yeah.
a lot, and we could be nothing but sorry, and obviously amplify their voices at the same time.
So in the West, it's not
Yeah.
enough to be not racist. Every single day you have to be anti-racist. So here we have to, every single day we have to be anti-casteist. So if we see any like jokes or any comments or anything that's being talked like so we just have to be like, hey, that's not funny, and you can't addressing those things, like you said, correcting, like we see a lot of people making memes which are not really memes. I mean, like about protesters or about certain people. Like I have seen memes and I've been really angry and like shocked as to like how these people can just dehumanize this entire community which is struggling. They don't have rights. Their entire community has been facing such real and like massive threats. Like if we talk about trans community, people like trans people face a lot of abuse. With Dalits also, they face a lot of abuse because people think that these, like, there's this ego and a lot of like these people don't deserve to be here, and a lot of like all animosity that goes around.
But yes, I think it's a never-ending thing. I don't think so we will ever get tired of talking about it. But I do have, before, I mean, closing this, I have to thank you, Nikita, for taking this hour out, for actually speaking to us about the issues, the struggle, just making us better people in terms of how we can address others, how we can ask others if they need help, if we can listen to them. I think it's a big share of difference that we've made by just having an hour of conversation about this. Uh,
Thank you.
I don't think so. It's
Yeah.
important to tell people to, at least in this episode, like it if you want to like it, subscribe if you want to subscribe, share if you want to share, but at least go out, help someone, make a difference, sign a petition, write a paper, research paper, make a video about a cause you like, make art. Hey, you can listen to the whole podcast on Spotify. Just click on the link in the bio.